Sandy, just checking. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you
Okay,
hear me?
I can.
Okay.
I can.
I'm working very remotely today, so I hope I don't have any internet problems.
Yeah, no, I'm remote too.
Okay, I think we're waiting for, oh, there's Mr. Darling. We're waiting for Dr. Rutz Robbins and Mrs. McClay.
Mrs. Hinkson,
Yes.
I'm having internet problems with my laptop. I have no Wi-Fi, so I'm trying to sign on to another computer that's on our district line. And Ms. McClay got on the other Zoom meeting, and she can't leave that one until I get into it. So that's what the holdup is. I'm going to be leaving my screen for a moment and running to a different computer.
Okay.
I can't. Okay. No, not yet. I have to go. Just a second. I can't.
You might want to turn your microphone off, Mrs. Chilik.
Okay, I think we got it squared away and she'll be joining us shortly. Apologize.
Okay, Dr. Rutz Robbins says she's trying to get in as well.
Yeah, I was away from my computer because I'm running back and forth.
Okay. Okay, do we have everybody now, Mrs. Trilek?
We don't have Ms. McClay yet.
Okay.
I just admitted her.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. McClay, are you on? Because I don't see you. I just see your name. Ah, there you are. Okay, it looks like we have everybody then. The special meeting of the Governing Board of Education is called to order by myself, Sandy Hinkson, at 4:06 p.m. on Thursday, June 18th, 2020, and is being broadcast to the public via YouTube under the authority of the Governor's Executive Order number N-25-20. The board and cabinet members are participating via video conference. A recording of this meeting is being made. Are there any requests for changes to the agenda? And if there are, if you could speak up, because I can't see everyone right now. Any requests? Okay, I will take a motion and a second, and everyone's on mute right now, so I'll need you to unmute. I'll take a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented.
Moved.
Moved by Mrs. Farnbach, second.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Broche. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, did I hear Dr. Retz Robbins? Did you say aye?
I did. Aye.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, motion carries 5-0. In accordance with Government Code Section 54957.7, the board will meet in closed session for consideration of the item listed in Section E below. This is the time for closed session public comments. Any person wishing to provide a public comment to the board was requested to email their public comment by 2 p.m. today, June 18th, to Deborah Jilick at djilick@tvusd.us. And if someone was unable to provide a public comment by email and needed assistance, they were to call Deborah at 951-506-7904. For identification purposes, submitters were requested to put closed session public comments in the subject line of the email. Public comments received by 2 p.m. will be read aloud to the board up to a maximum of 3 minutes per comment in the order received, to a maximum total time of 30 minutes per item for comments on closed session agenda items. The comments read to the board will be included in the minutes of the meeting when published. Has anything come in, Mrs. Jilick?
Nothing came in for the closed session public comments that relate to this item that's on the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so at this time, the board will be moving into closed session. We are planned to come back into open session at 4:45. So if all the board would leave this meeting and join the closed session meeting at this time. session since 4 o'clock. In attendance this evening for the governing board, Mrs. Barbara Broche, Mr. Lee Darling, Mrs. Julie Farnbach, myself, Mrs. Sandy Hinkson, and Dr. Christy Rutz-Robbins. Secretary to the board, Mr. Timothy Ritter, Superintendent, Ms. Jody McClay, Deputy Superintendent of Educational Support Services, Ms. Lori Ordway Peck, Assistant Superintendent, Business Support Services. Absent this evening, or this afternoon, I'm sorry, Mr. Raymond Johnson, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources Development. And also in attendance, Mrs. Deborah Jilick, Executive Assistant to the Superintendent. Okay, if you'd please stand for the pledge, and if you turn your mics off so we can hear you, that would be great. Okay, ready, begin. I pledge
allegiance to the
flag
of
of the
United States
of
of America,
America and to the
the
republic
republic
for
which
which it
stands
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
all.
Thank you. Okay. The next item is the readout of action taken in closed session, and that will be Mr. Darling.
Okay, for E-1-1, it was in closed session. It was moved by Member Broche and seconded by Member Farnbach to appoint Karen Valdez as our new Assistant Superintendent, Educational Support Services, effective July 1, 2020, subject to the approval of a contract in open session at a future regular meeting. The vote was 5-0. For item E-1-2, in closed session, it was moved by Member Farnbach and seconded by Member Broche to appoint Francisco Arce as our new Assistant Superintendent, Human Resources Development, effective July 1, 2020, subject to approval of a contract in open session at a future regular meeting. The vote was 5-0. For item E-1-3, in closed session, it was moved by Member Farnbach and seconded by Member Broche to appoint Kimberly Velez as our new Assistant Superintendent, Student Support Services, effective July 1, 2020, subject to approval of a contract in open session at a future regular meeting. The vote was 5-0.
Thank you, Mr. Darling. All right, Mrs. McClay, would you mind making introductions for us, please? You're muted, Mrs. McClay.
How about now?
That's great. Thank you.
I'm happy to make introductions this evening. After a very long and involved recruiting process, which involved multiple interviews and a variety of stakeholders, we are excited and proud to introduce our 3 successful candidates for the Assistant Superintendent position. The first one I will introduce this evening is Dr. Karen Valdez. Karen is no stranger to TVUSD and comes from a family of educators. She served in our district as a teacher for over 10 years, twice being honored as Teacher of the Year and earning the Riverside County Teacher of the Year title in 1997. She was then recruited to serve as an instructional coordinator and director at Riverside County Office of Education for a decade before becoming the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Support Services in the Menifee Union School District, where she served for 12 years in that role from 2006 to 2018. She's then spent the past 2 years as the Assistant Superintendent of Student Support Services in Hemet Unified, where she utilized her expertise in instruction to benefit special education, child welfare, and student services. In addition to all of this, Dr. Valdez has served on the California State Board of Education, which is an incredible honor. And we are so excited to have her return to TVUSD as our Assistant Sup of Educational Support Services. Dr. Valdez, would you like to say a few words, and then I'll introduce our next candidate?
Thank you. I am very privileged, very honored to be part of this new team, and I look forward to serving the community, the board, and I think it is going to be an incredible experience, and I feel like I am coming home. So I'm very grateful, and I appreciate the vote of confidence.
Wonderful. Thank you. Mrs. Hinkson, would you like me to continue on?
Please.
All right.
Congratulations.
Our next candidate is our Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources and Development, and that is Mr. Francisco Arce. Mr. Arce hails most recently from Chino Valley Unified School District, where he has served as the Director of Human Resources. Prior to that, he served as a middle school and high school administrator, most recently as principal of Heritage High School within the Parish Union High School District. At Heritage, he was hailed for being an amazing leader who dedicated himself tirelessly to improving conditions for all students and staff. One of his former superintendents captured the essence of Mr. Arce, I believe, and his contagious personality when he stated, while Francisco has excelled in his understanding and his application of the what side of being a talented school leader, his greatest strength is his almost uncanny ability to move people to want to do better for their students. So we welcome Francisco to the team as our Assistant Superintendent of HRD. Francisco?
Thank you very much, Ms. McClay, and thank you, President Hinkson and members of the board and Superintendent Ritter and Deputy Superintendent McClay, soon to be superintendent, and community members of Temecula Valley Unified. Thank you for the vote of confidence and entrusting me with this responsibility. I want to share with the community that I will work very hard to uphold the level of dedication and commitment that the board, the cabinet, and our community have in supporting the success of all students. I also want to share that this is a special moment, not just for me, but also for my family. I have a beautiful and amazing wife, Esperanza, who's also in education as a director of secondary education. And I have 4 amazing kids, two of them in college now, Dulce and Angelica, and 2 of my boys still in high school, Chris and Ben. And they keep me very busy and they keep me on my toes and they keep me humble. So thank you for that, family. To the community of Temecula Valley, I want to say I'm a servant leader and I love, it fills me to be able to help others. So I look forward to doing that for this community. I'm very grateful for this opportunity and I want to thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this amazing team. Thank you.
Thank you, Francisco. And our third and final candidate today is a familiar face, Mrs. Kimberly Velez. Mrs. Velez came to TVUSD, as many of you know, as a special education teacher from Oceanside in 2002. In fact, I was on her hiring committee that year and engaged in what I have deemed an active debate among principals to get her at my then school. She served as an SDC teacher and a 3rd grade teacher at Nicholas Valley Elementary before being encouraged to become an assistant principal in 2005. She was then promoted to principal of Pava Valley very quickly thereafter in 2007, where she also excelled. And then in 2010, we once again tapped her to come to the district office as director of special education, where we tasked her with continuing to grow strong instructional programs in special education, and also improving compliance, building and establishing our own SELPA, creating a student welfare and success department, and much, much more. It's no surprise that she earned the title of TVUSD Certificated Administrator of the Year in 2017. And as you all know, she's done an outstanding job in every area and position, and she will be a fabulous addition to the cabinet as our Assistant Superintendent of Student Support Services. Kimberly?
You're muted.
I think that's going to be the t-shirt of the year. You're on mute. So I am humbled and honored to be taking on this new role. And as I'm looking on here and seeing all of the mentors that have worked with me over the years and who have truly taught me so many things to get me to this point, I love this district. I love the students and families of this district, our staff. I'm excited about the new role. I'm challenged by the new role, but I truly would not be here without the support and love of my family. My husband, Art, who is in the room over here. He is cheering me on, and I hear my family in the other room over there. I have my dad in Arizona and my mom in California, and most importantly too is our son in Corpus Christi, Texas, who I know is watching. So I'm just so humbled and honored to be here today. And I thank you all for this opportunity. And Karen and Frank, looking forward to working with you as well.
Thank you. I just want to say welcome to everyone. Congratulations. I think that we're going to have some amazing things going on. We have an amazing team. Really looking forward to working with you. So thank you. Welcome. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, that was the only item of business that we had today. So welcome once again. And we'll be adjourning the meeting at this time. The next regular open session business meeting of the Governing Board of Education is scheduled for June 30th, 2020. Information on the format of the meeting and the start time will be available and posted on the TVUSD website by June 26th, 2020. One last time, congratulations. Look forward to working with you. The meeting is adjourned Tuesday, June 18th, 2020 at 5:00 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.